Hi, welcome to Matt's Garage. Today we're going to be installing a new rear bumper on this Jeep GL. In this video we're going to answer three basic questions. How does it install? How does it look? And what do I think about it? That's it. I'm not really going to get into the details of the installation process. DV8 has a nice 13-page color instruction manual. It's fairly simple. You disconnect the tail light or the license plate light. You disconnect the harness that holds on your backup sensors if you have them. Take the bolts off, put the new bumper on, and then you splice in the license plate wire to the license plate light that comes with DV8's bracket and bolt it all up. It's fairly self-explanatory, so I want to keep the video short and just give you my thoughts on what I think about this bumper. I'm also going to weigh them to compare the weight difference between the old and the new. I debated even doing this because I don't want to necessarily spend the money if I don't have to, but the issue with the plastic factory bumper is not actually the bumper. It's that when you come off a rock and this hits the bottom of this, there's a support brace in here that will buckle the rear end of your body. So that's the main reason I'm upgrading to a steel rear bumper. For the rear, I went with a DV8 bumper again. This is their FS15 rear bumper. They have a Spec Series rear bumper that's like an exact match for the front, but I think these complement each other well with the lines. Again, it's like formed steel, it's reasonably thick, and it's gonna do the job of protecting the rear, which is the point of this bumper as far as I'm concerned. Plus it relocates the license plate up above the bumper, which is helpful. And I like the lines and it's high clearance, so I'm happy with it so far. That's 47 pounds with the brackets, no hardware. All right, the original bumper, that's 18 pounds. It's 27, just under 27 with brackets and no hardware. So it's a 20-pound difference between stock and the DV8 FS15. Just like the front bumper, it comes with these clips that you would put in and M10 hardware, which is fine, but I'm opting for some additional strength. So I picked up some M12 hardware, which fits just fine. It's a little awkward because you got to fish a nut back there, but there's just enough room to make it work. Again, totally optional, but I like it. I should also mention that this stuff is packaged really well. It comes encased in this foam. First it's wrapped in like this thick fabric, and then it's encased in this foam, so when it arrives it's like pristine, and I really appreciate that. And for the bottom one, it's exposed, so you could just use the button head. It looks a little better from the outside, but what I'm going to do is just run this shoulder bolt, which is good looking enough for me from the front. And the washer, little lock nut. This is the nut plate insert thing. You have built-in ones on the other side for the factory recovery point. So it'll rest on the frame rails. All right, well, it won't fall off with that. So let's look and see what I'm doing wrong here. Oh yeah, there you go. I ran into a small hiccup. The tire was hitting the bumper no matter what I was doing. So I went back and saw that this bracket, that the factory receiver hitch, there's 4 bolts that go through the receiver hitch. 2 of them just fit through this hole, but the other 2 actually go into these holes, these bolts. These ears that the factory bumper attaches to were interfering with the bumper's movement in. So I was able to fish this out by loosening everything back up. And now I've got the bumper the furthest in and the furthest down, and that clears the 33 just barely. So if you were up to a 35, you'd have to also get a tire relocation, which is probably a good idea anyway if you're getting a bigger tire, because you probably want to get one of the heavy duty tailgates, but just something to keep in mind when you're installing. I just started up the Jeep. I was checking to see the light. It is not obnoxious. That was very important to me. This bracket actually has like slots for a zip tie. It's little things that I love the thinking. The light is a cool color, but it's not very bright, which is perfect. Like I didn't want this to be blaring at night. So I was a little worried about that, and that turned out to be good. The bumper install was fairly straightforward. Torqued the bolts down to 55 foot-pound, and this bumper is very sturdy. Like, again, it's like that perfect middle ground where, you know, it only weighs 47 pounds, but it's going to give a lot more protection from strikes up from dropping off of ledges or large rocks. There's still some exposure here on the body. I'll show you. Let me bring you in. So this is just a weakness of the JL design, like this pinch weld here. So theoretically, if you came up a rock, you could, I don't even see, you'd have to be like, I don't even get it. Like you wouldn't make it over the front if you were going to hit this. So I'm not so worried about it. This is like the perfect location. So I like, again, lowest setting, furthest forward setting, clears the tire, and is nice and tight to the body. My only concern is, will the Gobi rack bracket fit in here? And I'll report back on that when I put the Gobi rack on. All in all, value for money, I would definitely recommend this FS15 bumper. I like the way it looks. It installed fairly easily. And hopefully tomorrow I'm gonna be able to go out and use it. The weather's kind of bad. We'll see if we can get out, but I'm perfectly happy with this. It looks like it belongs, really. I mean, like if Jeep came with these, it wouldn't be like, what's up with those bumpers? I'm digging it. Believe me, I really do want to get out. This truck is not a snow wheeler. You need like 37s to go really snow wheeling. So hopefully we'll go to like Capitol Forest tomorrow. I don't know. I have to keep in mind the whole point of getting this in the winter was to kit it out so we're ready to go in the spring. So I need to be more patient, but it's hard for me because I have it and I want to go use it. So we'll see. Am I going to put something on next time I'm at Matt's garage, or am I going to be using the Jeep next time I'm at Matt's garage? We'll find out.